In action, welcome to Midday Discourse on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodu. Nice to know you're out there. And it's time for us to have a very, very decent discourse midday as we got some happenings across the 36 states of the Federation, Africa's biggest black nation, that's Nigeria. All right, on today's edition, we'll be focusing on community crisis, how to resolve community crisis, the causes of community crisis, and also the resolutions, solutions. The causes and solutions is what we'll be focusing on today's edition, and we'll be taking our searchlight. We'll be going to River State, we'll be going to Ifoko satellite communities where there happens to be crisis amongst the communities there. And as usual, we get the finest mind in the African continent so that you get well informed and educated as regards happenings in Nigeria. On today's edition, we'll be joined via Zoom that will be taking us all the way to River State where the national president of the Niger Delta Progressive Youth Leadership Foundation, the person of Adam Mabo, will be speaking to us alongside a community youth leader there in the person of Comrade Moses Emmanuel, who is the youth leader of Ifoko satellite communities there. So they will be giving us a breakthrough as regards what's happening there. All right, good afternoon. The national president of the Niger Delta Progressive Youth Leadership Foundation, Adam Mabo. Good afternoon. Nice to have you join us.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Can we? My
thank
producer,
you.
can I hear him louder? I want it clearer. The audio is quite low. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let's look at, first of all, we'd like to know where you are in Nigeria currently and why you are there.
I'm rightly at River State, Port Harcourt, and I'm at, yesterday evening I went to Elim Efoko community, satellite communities, concerning the community leaders, their power tussles, draw my attention as the national president of the Niger Delta Progressive Youth Leadership Foundation, and my attention was drawn to their crisis. And because of our organization is responsible for advocating for peace and unity, community youth integration, and to make sure that there is an understanding between the youth of the Niger Delta region. And as the national president, because of our organization also cover the River State as the chapter of the organization. So I was personally involved right now at the Port Harcourt to make sure that the community should come together and work together irrespective of their different satellite community. They are all from the same local government area of Degema local government area of River State.
All right, President, we would like you, if you can oblige us, we would like to have your eyeglasses and your caps out so that we can see you properly, so we can really identify who we're talking with. Let's move on. What is the cause of this crisis in Ifoko satellite communities? What is the reason why they're having crisis?
Yes, the reason behind them is because of power tussle. And every community, as well it is in Niger Delta, every community is struggling to be part of inclusiveness in the scheme of things within their community riverine areas. And this community, according to what I gathered, that the other leaders from the other angle of the Elim Ifako community, and the other one is Amo Ama Ifako communities, come together to think of about peace. But at the end of the day, the other group were not able to agree for the peace accord. So on that process, we were involved basically to make sure that the whole community should come together and work for peace and unity in order to attract development. Because I believe that we able to communicate with the youth leaders and make them to understand that as it is with this present political and economic reality, it is important that the community youth leaders should able to preach peace, talking about peace, unity, and development, in order so that the riverine communities where
Okay. My
from that is
question.
crying for environmental
Okay.
will not be able to experience.
Okay.
Uh, should not be able to
I my,
experience.
Okay, my question to you is concerning these international oil companies. Do we have them in the 11 IFOCO satellite communities? Are they present there? And is it like they're giving out some largesse? That's why we're having these communities fight against each other because of they want to get from what the international oil companies are giving to their communities.
Yes, I think that environment, they also have a filling station. They have a filling station, and I think I believe that the power tussle is between who is going to be the leaders of the communities, where I can able to communicate with the IOC, and we make them to understand that it is not about fighting against one another because of interest. The most important part is you cannot, because of the IOC operating the environment, and begin to fight yourself. We begin to fight yourself, then you could not be able to have the ability to demand and to hold them accountable for the environmental damages they have caused in our territories. And I believe with our intervention, the youth leaders have agreed for peace accord, and they have agreed that they are going to address with our areas of condition given to them, that let there be peace in that satellite communities in LM, Efako, riverine areas in the Degema local government area of River State. And
All
I
right.
believe with what we have intervened, we can, I can able to say that there is peace as it is now.
Okay, do we have the youth leader, Comrade Morris Emmanuel, close to you so that we can probably speak with him so that he can give us a vivid picture as regards?
I think as it is,
Yeah.
as it is, I have tried to communicated the youth leader so that I can also to hear also to bring out his own view and perspective concerning this issue. And I don't know whether he has able to get the link, because sometimes the network system is not good. That's why you can see that even where I am, the more I talk, sometimes you can see network is frustrating my communication. So I
All
have
right.
informed him. I don't know whether I can able to connect now.
Okay, we've not gotten across to him, but can you tell us what has been have there been any fighting or killing, any loss of life in terms of the crisis between these two communities? And has the state government, the local government chairman or the state government, have they been involved in this crisis? And how long has it been?
I think the local government chairman, they have already has been properly informed, and they are also trying their best uh, to make sure that the communities should work together in unity. They are also trying their best to make sure there is peace, unity among the communities, the satellite community of the LM Ifoko communities.
How many communities do we have there? And aside the oil, the international oil companies there, what other source of income do these people have? And do they have the necessary basic amenities provided by these oil companies, international oil companies?
I think the that satellite communities, according to them, is made up of 18 communities. There are 18 communities, and they are all from the same geographical location, the same local government area. So, and that is, the implication when you have a filling station operating in the area where some neighboring communities are not benefiting from the whole thing. This is where the crises are coming from. And I believe that all interest has been addressed. And I know with this peace accord, they will be able to come together and able to harmonize themselves to make sure that they have harmonious working spirit in order to hold the company accountable for whatever environmental damages they have caused for them. And at the same time, like the question you also asked about what is their occupation, you know how it is. The Elema Ifoko communities in the Degema area is an Ijaw speaking enclave. It's an Ijaw speaking local government area in River State. And all of us know the occupation of Ijaw man. Every Ijaw man is a fisherman. They do fishing in their environment. So their occupation is fishing. So you can see that even that is why most times we as leaders always uh, begin to accuse those IOC for their operation because of environmental degradation that has caused the inability of the people to carry out their livelihood, which is their occupation, the fishing work, because the riverine areas has been polluted to the extent that some of them they cannot even continue to carry out their fishing work efficiently because of the crude oil exploitation and exploration in the environment.
All right,
So
let's
that
ask you, we know that international oil companies have been leaving Nigeria. Shell is about to sell its own quota to Nigerian companies. How is it there? Is there evidence of Shell leaving Nigeria? Is it obvious there? Are you still seeing them doing work there, or they've actually packed their things to move? Because we are aware that
I think
Shell...
what I can say is that it is just a paperwork and it's just a publication we are all hearing. But with what we are seeing, the company are still there operating. We don't know whether other people have bought them over. I don't know, but we are still seeing all their logo that they are still operating. They have not folded up.
Okay, let's now get into Rivers proper. Now the issue of Fubara, we know that the Supreme Court today will be taking a final verdict on that Fubara issue. How is the atmosphere in Rivers State, especially recently?
I think as it is, Rivers State is peaceful. Rivers State is peaceful. And I know there is still a cold war between the two parties. And when I say cold war, it simply means that you are aware that there was a presidential directive given to the governor of Rivers State, the two party, the FCT minister Wike, former governor of the state, and the present governor Similai Fobara. And I think that was also precipitated to fulfill the one of the peace accord by the
All right. Okay. All right. Do you sense there's going to be any protests or violence if the Supreme Court does rule today and they sack Fubara from office? What do you think is likely to happen?
I think what I can say is that the Supreme Court, how would they sack Fubara? The people are with him, and you can see the masses are massively in support of Sim Fubara. So, if the people are behind the governor, what is Supreme Court all about? Supreme Court cannot decide the fate of the people.
But
that's why it is called democracy.
The fate of other states. We've seen the Supreme Court decide the fate of other people.
That is what I'm saying. You can't compare other states to River State because River State is more properly organized than those states that Supreme Court can go for midnight and give judgment against who is rightful elected governor of the state. Sim Fobora is elected. And that you can also aware that the other political party who also sue Sim Fobora to court, they withdraw their cases, like Labour Party and like other SDP party, other parties. They withdraw their cases, and the only party now with Sim with court is all APC, and you all are aware that what really happened, and the people of some part of the APC
so
and PDP
my question is if the Supreme Court rules in favor of the APC, because APC is the ruling party, are we going to see the Niger Delta youths turn to violence? Or what is the feelers down there in River State? What have the youth been
I
saying?
think I think even the Supreme Court also are aware that they cannot pass judgment to APC. Do you know that before election you already are aware who is going to win the election? That is the truth about it. And I believe Sim Fobara has been elected and is the governor. And I don't think the Supreme Court is going to do different thing otherwise from the voice of the people. And you are aware that the voice of the people is the voice of God. And the people's voice has been spoken loudly in support of Sim Fobara. And I believe they cannot go to manipulate. If they manipulate it, that is mean they are the one that want to instigate crisis in the River State. And then the Rivers people is going to hold the federal government and the Supreme Court accountable for causing crisis in River State. I don't pray for that, that I don't think they can give. We are all aware that the judgment of the Supreme Court is pending for River State. And I know and I believe, and others critical stakeholders and the good people of River State also aware that Sim Fobora is the legitimately and democratically elected governor of the River State. So the crisis between Sim Fobora and the former governor of the state, Wike, does not mean about who win the election, who did not win the election. That is in-house fight. So that does not give verdict to any judgment in the Supreme Court. So Sim Fobora, we are very, very hopeful that Sim Fobora is going to be favored at the end of the verdict in the court.
All right, let's look at Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister and the former governor of River State. What has been the attitude and feelers from his own camp, those who are supporting him in River State? We remember that Edison Ehi, who was a factional leader and in support of Fubara, resigned his membership of the House of Assembly and also his position. What has he been saying in River State? And do you think Fubara has abandoned Edison Ehi?
Let me tell you, for the purpose of Edison to resign as Speaker of the 10th Speaker of the River State House of Assembly is for the purpose of the peace accord. Whether you like, it's for the peace accord. And the governor is with his own magnanimity and his own humility. He believed that the only way to do, he must also to honor some of the presidential directive, and in order to foster peace and unity in the state. And that is why Sim Fobora and also aware that Edison resigned. And are you also aware that Sim Fobora cannot abandon Edison? Edison is the prosperous chief of staff to the governor of River State.
All right, for those who are behind Nyesom Wike, what has been their influence in River State? The fact that they came back to office and they've gotten all the things they had given up or Fubara had taken away from them. Does that make them more influential and calling the shot in River State? And is Fubara scared of what they can do to him now?
I think it is not about scared. It is not about scared. That's why I said it's about peace dialogue. It's about dialogue. You know, in politics, people argue. And because of this argument, there is one thing very paramount to it, is interest. Interest is the essence of political argumentation. So which I believe that it's not about scared. February does not care about anything. And those people who has resigned, February did not tell them to resign. They honorably resigned by their conscience. And today, because of the presidential directive that they should come back to, you know, if I'm the one that have been resigned as a commissioner, if no matter presidential directive, I will honorably stay at home. I cannot be resigned when nobody forced me to resign and then still come back to be part of the government. Then how do you think the governor will look at me after resigning? Even if it is governor that forced them to resign, it's a different thing. But this one, they resign honorably by themselves. So he resigned honorably, and he also appreciated the governor with letter. And then because of presidential directive, and he said they should scream, they should go back to the River State House of Assembly, and then they could be able to be screamed again. I think this is uncalled for. Those who have integrity, those who have integrity within themselves will not, because of a position, and then tarnish their images. These are people who have worked with the former governor. What do they still want? They have benefited so much from the treasury of River State. If they are not commissioner for now, are they not going to live in their life? So it is something that most of us who believe in fairness and justice always say that, how will you resign and you have been first appointed, you went to State House of Assembly, they confirm you, they scream in, you become a commissioner, and within a time frame, you resign on your own by yourselves, and then because of presidential directive, you say you are going back again, and then they should restrain them again. When you look at what they did just now, the River State House of Assembly told some of them that we know you people should take your bar and go. How will you be screaming the same people for the same government 2 times? Where did it happen in the politics of Nigeria? Which is not called for. So, which I believe that human beings think differently and observations are differently. And I believe if those who have what they call integrity within themselves will not become to play themselves downward in the midst of people. And I believe there are others capable people in River State that is has the ability to be a commissioner, can do the work also. So I think there is nothing wrong for them to resign and stay on their home, and then by still coming back to say, hey, for some of us, we did not look it as well reasonable. We condemn it totally. We condemn it that they did not prove themselves as men of integrity. If they prove themselves as men of integrity, I don't see no reason for you to resign for government and then you now come back again. It's uncalled for. That is the simple truth. That is the fundamental truth about what has happened in River State. And I believe you resign in the government when you want to work with the governor. How will you feel after resigning and then coming back for the governor? How do you think the governor can trust you? One thing is about trust. Because they resign without governor forcing them to resign. Now
All
they are
right.
coming back. How do
All
you
right,
think governor can trust them?
Mabo, my question to you, Mabo, is you said it was not honorable for these commissioners to have resigned and come back due to presidential directives. But we had the governor, Fubara, also resubmit the 2024 appropriation bill, which he had given to Edison Ehi and those 5 lawmakers. So is it honorable for Fubara to also come back and resubmit that appropriation bill to the new lawmakers? Was that honorable for Fubara to do that too?
I think it is not honorable for governor to do that, because in a state you cannot submit a budget twice, and the people who pass the budget are legitimately given by a court of competent jurisdiction,
True.
giving them the power as the speaker, and the speaker and the other people who are legitimately given power by the court judgment for them to position, resubmit, represent that, representing the budget to the State House of Assembly. It is not reasonable and it is not called for. So that is how it is.
Okay.
And I believe that we are also hearing the rumor, because we have not even seen where Fubara came to submit that budget, resubmit the budget to the people. So I do not see anything like that. But we are also still observing and looking whether it will come to pass that way.
All right, let's talk about the House of Assembly that was burnt down and renovation that was taking place. Can you give us a clue? Have you been to the House of Assembly in Rivers, in Port Harcourt? There, are they still renovating it, or they finished renovation, or what's really happening?
I think as I'm talking to you, I'm opposite of the State House of Assembly of River State. Where I am talking to you, I'm just an opposite of the River State House of Assembly. Okay, and I think a renovation is taking place. It's taking place.
Okay, so are you saying the House of Assembly members, the lawmakers, have been sitting in that same facility, or they are meeting somewhere?
No, they are not sitting there. The one they did just now was in the other side, legislative, the other quarter, House of Assembly quarter. That is where they are mainly using for now, until they complete one that were demolished.
Okay, let's now move a little bit into the Niger Delta issues in terms of the Titan security outfits. As regards Tompolo and Asari Dokubo, we heard there was some bit of rift between these two people, and recently we saw a lot of Asari's boys, so to say, in the Federal Capital Territory, in the Ijo Youth Old Chelsea building. Why are we having so much of them there? What's happening? Is it that some say they were driven from the creeks? Is that true?
That is not true. The people you see there as Asari supporters, they did come because of pipeline subland contract. They are supporters of His Excellency President Amen Bola Tinubu. Asari brought them to Abuja in order to support His Excellency President Mohamed Buhari during the time of his court case. And I believe that they are all there. They are all supporters of Amen Bola Tinubu. They are not people that they drove away from the creek. And they are staying here does not even correlated or consign Tompolo and pipeline Titanti security services. So Tompolo pipeline security services is different from the reason why the people are there. These are real supporters of President President Amen Bola Tinubu, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
When you said they were brought during his case, were they supposed to, were they brought as thugs so that if the result didn't go the way of President Tinubu, they would have caused mayhem or what? Why did Asari have to bring them all the way from Bayelsa to the FCT?
You know that Asari is the leader, and when he moved to a place, he don't move alone. And he's also see that there are other people who were trying to foment trouble within the environment of Abuja. And Asari was also saying that he has his own supporter for Tinubu, and everybody, you know how it is. In the Abuja process, every parties were also moving along with their supporters. And because Asari is a supporter of Amen Bola Tinubu, he also pulled out his support to be based in Abuja just to support him and to show his own solidarity for Mr. President. So it is not for any reason to cause mayhem or to cause problem within the term. And they have spent how many years now? The years they have, they have spent some months now in Abuja. Have you heard of anywhere they cause crisis or whatever? So they are very peacefully, they are living, they are all human beings that are strong supporters of Asari. They are followers of Asari who also believe in Asari, that whatever thing Asari believe, that's what they believe. And that is why they were all around in the territory of Abuja to support, to show solidarity to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Amen Bola Tinubu.
All right, let's looking further to the Ijo Youth Council. We know that you are the former chairman of the FCT unit chapter. Now you're no longer how well is the Ijo Youth Congress doing in the FCT, and what has been the challenges? Because we noticed that there seem to have been some rift between the Ijo Youth Congress, not as viable like it used to be when you were in charge.
I think as it is, my predecessor, I think the young man that is there as the chairman of the chapter is trying his best, because it's not easy. He just came into office, and I believe he's trying his best as the chairman of the chapter, and gradually I believe everything will be stabilized, and we are also supporting him in every angle. So as far as we are concerned, we have not seen any crisis in the among the Joy Youth Council in FCT. We are all moving harmoniously and united, working for one spirit and one vision and one purposes. So I have not seen anything that I can use to blame the present administration that is being led by my brother, Comrade Dema Emmanuel. So we are all unanimously supported his own administration, because in my own time, people also supported me. And I believe that I will also support him to succeed. Because when he failed, I also fail. Because I hand over to him. It is my responsibility to also to make sure that I encourage and advise where my advice is necessary. So that is how it is. As it is in Abuja, we are not facing any crisis. We are united. We are always united.
Okay, let's now that you mentioned, as you still talked about the Federal Capital Territory, what's your take as regards the recent insecurity, the spate of insecurity ravaging the Federal Capital Territory?
I think
Do you think it's
now, as it
politically?
is,
Some people say it's politically motivated. Do you agree with that? That it's politically motivated?
I think many people are now pointing finger to the FCT Minister Wike that there is insecurity in Abuja. Wike, you have to do, you have to do that. One thing we need to understand is that Wike, as FCT Minister, is not just because he's FCT Minister and every security aspect must come from him. And we also realize that outside of the FCT Minister, the Chief of Army Staff is living in Abuja. The Chief of Air Staff is living in Abuja. The Chief of Defense Staff is living in Abuja. At the same time, the Inspector General of Police is living in Abuja. All security architecture is living in Abuja. The National Security Advisor is also living in Abuja. The Director General of DSS is also living in Abuja. And Controller General of Immigration also living in Abuja. All the security agencies and the FROS, in fact, road safety and whatever, all the security architecture in the Federal Republic of Nigeria are based in Abuja. So it is not just for the minister alone to talk about the security of Abuja. So it is time that all of them need to collaborate their strength with the FCT minister to make sure that the life of the people who are living in the FCT territory and environment should be secured. And I think security matter is not for one person. They should stop pointing finger at Wike. Everybody is saying that Wike, and since Wike came and become minister, Abuja is now having, or Abuja is now having insecure. So even though some of us may have a reservation for our brother Wike, does not mean that when we see people want to use politically motivated agenda to dwarf his own areas of leadership, we can never accept that. Because we believe that the safety of all as sundry in Abuja is in the hand of everybody. So I believe also that Wike, as a minister of FCT, also have a very fundamental role to play. And I believe everybody should support him so that this bandit that is coming into Abuja should be able to contain. One thing we all need to understand is that if bandit take over Abuja, it is not only Wike, it affects every family. And you can aware that people are now paying ransom for people that have been kidnapping from various communities in Buhari, in other areas in Abuja. So it is time security matter becomes so important for all of us to look at it the best way to protect life and property. What is the meaning of government? Government is solely established for the purpose of protecting lives and property. And if lives and property cannot be protected, there's a problem. And we also realize that the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, also living in the federal capital city, Abuja. So which is mean that all the powers that is be in Abuja are all living in Abuja. Even the Senate president, Senator Goswell Ubon Akpabio, the deputy Senate president, and the Speaker, House of Representatives, Deputy Speaker, they are all living in the capital city of Abuja. So if bandits begin to take over Abuja, which is mean every security actors has failed Nigeria. So we should not just pointing finger for only Wike. Wike is not, it's just one person. It is time that all the security agencies need to come together and join hands with Wike.
All right. Okay. I think we'll just network issue there, him freezing there. All right. We
which
hope.
Is the FC.
Okay.
And I believe that is most important thing. That is the most important thing every citizen of Nigeria need to look about, because Abuja belongs to everybody. We should not make Abuja look as if there are some people who owns Abuja more than other people. Yes, there are indices of that place. Without the known citizens, Abuja cannot exist. All the structure you are seeing there are being brought by known citizens, and it's making Abuja to develop. That's why people see Abuja as a well-developed the capital. So I believe everything we are doing, we should remove sentiment and look at the issues of reality and address them as people. If we refuse to address those issues based on political affiliation, based on religious affiliation, based on community affiliation, and then we get it wrong, all of us are going to blame ourselves when things go wrong in Abuja, because everybody today are living in Abuja are surviving from one way or another. So security aspects should not be relied upon on just for the Minister of FCT, Wiki. It will be a responsibility of every individual. And I want to also advise on this role to advise Honorable Minister of FCT, Wiki, to also to collaborate with the local vigilantes in various all the 6 local government area in Abuja. Let it collaborate with them. The local vigilante be able to understand who come to their community from nowhere. When they see strange faces, they can be able to identify strange faces who are not living in Abuja to come to cause crisis, just to cause conflict and cause lives and death in the town of Abuja. So I believe it is the time they need to collaborate with the community, vigilante, and every other critical stakeholders that is made up of FCT to make sure the lives and property should be safe for all of us. And this is my advice to our brother who is FCT Minister, Wike. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, okay, thank you very much. We'll go for a very quick break. When we return, we'll be wrapping up the discourse on Midday Discourse. We've been talking with Adam Mabo, who is the national president of the Niger Delta Progressive Youth Leadership Foundation from the Gema local government area in Rivers State, where some community crisis is being resolved, and that has been our focus as we look at issues playing out in that community and Rivers State as a whole. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll be wrapping up the program. Stay with us.
Don't place your lead. I don't know what to do. You don't some.
No, I'm sorry, I'm one short question.
Eh? No, that is me. We'll program it tomorrow.
Because I'm speaking to the awareness of the community.
Okay.
There. So he now said we should target as crisis that are going to raise our economy.
right, welcome back. We're still on the show Midday Discourse, and we've been talking with the national president of the Niger Delta Progressive Youth Leadership Foundation, in the person of Adam Mabo. We've been looking at resolving community crisis in the Ileme, Ifeko satellite communities in Rivers State, and thankfully the crisis there is as good as resolved, and we delved into the bigger picture, talking about Rivers State, and also not forgetting to impute what is happening in the FCT. All right, Adam Mabo, nice to have you rejoin us. All right, Mabo, let's end our discussion now. Now that the crisis in LMA satellite communities have been resolved, what is the next line of action in terms to ensure that this peace you've achieved is sustainable or is sustained?
I think the next plans of action is we have advised the company that is operating that area not to cause internal crisis, because a lot of those crises are caused by those IOC, because they believe that the only way for them to get access to community is to cross internal crisis between the communities. Then they can continue to enslave the people. And I believe that the traditional ruler of that place is also play a very vital role. And we have advised that the IOC operating that area should address issues in a very good way, where they will not go into ignite crisis among the people. And I believe that the most important part of this is that it is just a disagreement between communities. And I can't even title it as a crisis, but it's a disagreement between people. Who is going to lead? Who is going to rule? It's just a disagreement between communities. So invariably, we have discussed, and the way out is that some of them also give a very vital information to us, that the essence of why this thing is happening is that they are being neglected by Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, and the IOC operating those areas. That anytime, any day, they're going to use divide and rule method, take some persons and give them some peanut. The people they give peanut will now come back to community and fight those who are fighting for justice and fairness for the whole entire community. So on that note, we have also written as an organization to the MD Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Obuku, to look at it that we are carrying out a sensitization tour to those LM, IFACO satellite communities, so that there should be peace and harmony among the people. And the developmental stride which they are looking for, NDDCs can also to look at the communities and give them where necessary development is needed, because they are also community that is producing the oil and gas in terms of the economic stability of the country and the Niger Delta. So I believe the Niger Delta Development Commission is responsible for the developmental issues and address issues affecting the various oil producing communities in the Niger Delta region. So I believe by the special grace of God, we have tried our best, and the best is always come from God. And I believe that we have advised every community leader to remain calm and think about what can better the life of the community people which they are leading. So the community leaders and all of them, they are all well articulated, well organized people. With the way and manner we address the issues, we all come to a very logical conclusion that the issues will be reported to the Niger Delta Development Commission, MD, to look at it, that development they are crying for, empowerment they are looking for, and including the IOC, should pay more attention to those people who are facing this environmental degradation, because they cannot carry out their livelihood, their occupation, the fishing they cannot do, because all the aquatic, the fishing in the aquatic river, everything has been affected by this exploration and exploitation. So the only means of survival is by this intervention, federal intervention agency, to give them succor that can able to help them to survive in that area. As far as the production is taking place, there is nothing bad, for them to also give them their quota, for them to experience development, giving them school, because some community does not even have school. There's some community don't even have a type water, so pipe-borne water. So some of them also drinking water from the riverine community, so which is also affecting the life of the people. So which has also been taken into record by our organization. To the report will be submitted to the Niger Delta Development Commission MD to look at it critically and address those issues. So let there be harmony, peace, and unity among the people in that LM, Ifoku, satellite communities in the Gema local government area of River State.
All right, thank you very much for that great job you're doing, trying to ensure that there is tackling the crisis between the Eleme Ifako satellite communities in Dengue local government area of Rivers State. We've been talking with the national president of the Niger Delta Progressive Youth Leadership Foundation in the person of Adam Ogomugo Mabo, who has taken upon himself and his organization to try to create peace in the Niger Delta and Nigeria in the long run. Thank you very much, and we're saying enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you.
All right, that's how we're going to call it a wrap on today's edition of the program, Midday Discourse on Global Television. We've been looking at how to resolve a community crisis. The causes and solutions is what we've looked at on today's edition. Let's do this again tomorrow.